Hello, Scorpio. My name is Nigel, and you have found Alchemy. Welcome to your March 2025 reading. Okay, so let's get started right away. You have chosen for your overarching energy the Nine of Pentacles, which is actually really nice energy here. See if it could focus. Yep. It's a really nice energy. Now, it's, as you can see, she's in this card by herself. This is work you're going to be doing by yourself, or perhaps a reward you're going to be achieving by yourself. Now, it pays to note that when I don't know if you watched the shuffle. If you didn't, it's no big deal. But when I do these overarching cards, I always take note when they come in, especially this card, when it comes in reverse. I do not take it in reverse, but I do take note of it. And this did come in reverse. So it does exude, it exudes independence, self-care, success, self-reliance, a certain amount of security that you're going to be grappling with. I think that there might be a part of you who feels there might be one or two Scorpions, and this is going to be for a certain group, not the vast majority, but there's going to be one or two Scorpions this month who feel that they can't do it, or feel that they don't want to do it, or feel that they don't want to do this work in order to, they feel like it's not necessary. Now, for others of you, you're just going to be grappling with some sort of success, and you're going to be achieving it, but it is going to be a series of choices, as you can tell by all these sideways cards, okay? So success, I mean, not to spoil the ending, but success is here for the taking. Okay, now what success this is, I don't know yet. It could be a relationship, it could be a goal, it could be a job that you have. Let's just keep going. That is Venus in Virgo energy. You have chosen carnelian, and this is definitely in one of my top 10 crystals as far as what I really like. It says, creativity flows through me in a myriad of ways. I courageously bring my ideas into actuality. It is a courageous card. It is something that you're going to be doing alone. Not that you're going to be alone, but the important work this month is going to be done alone, even if you're surrounded by people. Now, carnelian is very Mars-based energy. It's very Aries. So it is very like passionate energy. It's action. It is action on some level. Let's look at your archetypes. Now, your archetypes this month are Ceridwen and Kuan Yin. These are such beautiful cards, aren't they? These goddess cards. Now, these are archetypes, okay? So let's start with Ceridwen. If you look at Ceridwen, right, she's very scorpionic in nature because it's a very rebirth-based card. Not everybody feels that way about Ceridwen, by the way. I do. That's a personal sort of thing that I feel about her, that she's very scorpionic. And my Mars is in Scorpio, so I do relate to the sign of Scorpio. I admit to being jealous of them on some level, because I feel that they have these attributes that I just love. I just absolutely love them, and I'm very grateful for that one placement. So with that said, Ceridwen is a Welsh crone, right? She's known as an enchantress, a shapeshifter, a goddess of the underworld, but she's also known as a hag, and the word hag doesn't elicit the best feelings in many people, but hag, in this instance, she's the embodiment of wisdom through introspection. She deserves the most reverence, as deep wisdom, the deep wisdom depicted on this card was earned. Whatever it is you have gone through up to this point led you here. You have come for, you've come for more. You've come to take that wisdom and put it into action. The wisdom you gathered has made you smarter, and some of you may even be sought after for your wisdom. But that's not what this is about. The wisdom here that we're talking about on the table is stuff that you yourself have to use. It's at your disposal. It's already there. It's not something you have to seek. But it's something that many of you may suppress, okay? You also have Kuan Yin. And Kuan Yin isn't really associated with Western astrology, but she is associated with Chinese astrology, the year of the rat. That might or might not mean something to you. The Chinese goddess of compassion, mercy. Her mythology says that she tried so hard to understand the plight and suffering of others, and ultimately the understanding of herself, right? Be present this month. with your knowledge that you already have and your emotions and honor them. Do not suppress or ignore what you know. Scorpio is a very intelligent sign. It's intelligent on all levels. To me, it's the most intelligent water sign because you're intelligent on a practical level, but you're also intelligent on an emotional level. But that doesn't mean you're not human, and it doesn't mean that you don't take all those great qualities and suppress them for a person, place, or thing. So keep that where it belongs, and let's just move on to your astrology right now. And man, you have a lot here. You do. Before we do your astrology, let me just dance around your other cards because the astrology is going to be dense. All right. A fair warning. It says when it feels right, do it. And I do think you're going to have to be in tuned with your own emotions this month on a very, very basic and deep way, more so than any other time. Okay, Scorpio, if you're going to reap the rewards of this card, that's the work you're going to have to do. Okay, now you also have astral travel. It says you can expect to travel, to start a new adventure, or a change that could leave you feeling excited and fearful. So there's mixed emotions here, right? If you choose to feel them. If you choose to feel them, is there something in your life, Scorpio, that you're choosing not to look at for one reason or another? I don't know. Let's just get started on your astrology. Before we go there, because that can be extremely dense, let's go here. You have these two cards. You chose two, and you chose three of these, which is, not common. But you chose two moon cards. One's full moon in Sagittarius. One is full moon in Taurus. And, the full moon in Sagittarius says, look at the bigger picture. And that is pretty much what I've been saying, right? Don't take things at face value as much as what the deeper meaning could be for you. Here it says, your dreams need a practical plan. And I do agree with that. I think that there are some of you that are dreaming of a better relationship, a great job, maybe rising above where you're at now. But you need some sort of practical plan. And I think it all starts with you. This is her alone on this card, surrounded by all the success. And whether you're a he or a she, it does start with you. It starts with the internal work that you're willing to put in just for this month here, Scorpio. Okay. Now, let's look at these cards. You have three of them. Let's start with the bottom because, man, it's a lot. First card up is Gemini in the third house. It is communication, transportation, and local community. Communication. This could be communication within yourself, all right? But let's look at this. Gemini, it's ruled by Mercury, the third house, right? It's concerned with communication, the foundation on which we build all relationships. The third house affects interpersonal dynamics with everyone around you, your family, your friends, your neighbors, your loved ones, your relationship, your boss, everyone. It can also indicate how your early education, and your education is not just schooling, it's your because it's your early education about relationships, for better or for worse, how it affected your learning style and how you process information. Look to the zodiac sign that rules your natal third house, whatever that may be. If you need to generate a free chart there, if you look in my description box, you can click on that link and generate one. But look at your third house. This house definitely will give you the type of information that stimulates you, especially this month. This house is also known for travel. I don't think this is actual travel. I think this is a sort of trip you're going on internally here, Scorpio. So take that for what it's worth right now. Next up, we have the waning gibbous moon, and it says harvest, reception. And I would say this is a definite harvest card, right? It does say gratitude on there as well. And the waning gibbous moon is a phase of harvest. It's receiving, it's sharing the abundance that's available to you. Remember when I said there is something inside you that is already available to you? This moon phase encourages you to speak your truth. There's that Gemini communication. Sharing what you've learned from, you're the crone right now, regardless of how old you are, right? You have learned something. And there is something you need to share with yourself that you may not want to say, or you may not look at, or you may not think is particularly important, but it's important this month. definitely your manifestations may not, when you start this month, your manifestations may not look like they are going to materialize. But I'm finding it difficult to say. Your harvest can materialize in unexpected ways. It's not going to materialize in the way you think. This is going to be an inside job. I can't say it enough, okay? So definitely do the work, and what the work is, I think we're going to find out more down here, all right? Finally, we have lunar eclipse, and it says culmination, release, illumination. And ironically, we do have a lunar eclipse going on this month on the 14th. Okay, so it's no surprise that came out. A lunar eclipse brings endings, culmination, letting go of what no longer serves you, and facing your shadows. Your shadows is where the good stuff is. Your shadows is where she resides. Okay. A lunar eclipse always happens on the full moon, and like solar eclipses, lunar eclipses often bring sudden and lasting change, ushering in a catalyst that you need to grow, no matter how pleasurable or painful the experience might be. This eclipse is going to bring, for you specifically, Scorpio, breakdowns and breakthroughs, death and rebirth, something you are very, very accustomed to. Now, you also pulled Pisces, and this is your brethren sign, right? It's another water sign. It's number 12 in this deck. Pisces, very Neptunian energy. Now, there's a lot going on with Pisces in March because it is a Piscean month. So let's get started on this because it's a list. Now, definitely pay attention. On March 2nd, you have Mercury in Pisces conjunct Neptune in Pisces. And that might leave you starry-eyed and magical, but don't lose your head. Enjoy the feeling, but don't lose your head. Ground yourself in reality here. It's really important. Also going on March 2nd, you have Sun in Pisces square Jupiter in Gemini. You are, around this time, very dreamy, right? Don't take on too many projects or more than you can chew because you might become overwhelmed thinking, I can handle this. Have some self-compassion for yourself, please. On March 7th, you have Sun in Pisces trine Cancer, another water sign. It's a great day to start projects that perhaps you haven't. It's enthusiastic. It provides you with confidence that this carnelian brings, confidence and courage. You can impress people that day. You could make waves that day. So if it's a goal-oriented sort of thing, use that energy. On March 12th, you have Sun in Pisces conjunct Saturn in Pisces. Something you wished for many, for a while, may manifest actually today. Step into this energy, right? And step into it with your highest vibration, your highest expectations. Be careful of how you're thinking that day because your thoughts and your words will speak spells. So as you step into March 12th, keep that in mind. On March 14th, you have Sun in Pisces sextile Uranus and Taurus. Unexpected opportunity. Say yes to propositions and invitations. So that energy, right, between the 12th and the 14th, very, very good for you. Very, very good. On March 19th, you have Sun in Pisces conjunct Neptune in Pisces. Connect to your emotional side through creative expression. Journaling, hobbies. It's really important to connect internally, right? It doesn't really matter what it is as long as you're connecting with something that is buried. There may be some feelings that are buried. There may be someone around you that asks you to suppress your own needs, suppress your own feelings. It's time to address that. It's really important, right? And on March 27th, you have Venus retrograde in Pisces. This prompts us inward again, right? What did I say? The work you have to do is inside. Embrace what you cannot change. Move forward amid any ex text scenario. So if your ex texts you, if something from the past rears its head, then just embrace what you can't change and move forward from that. You have it's also a good time to embrace your shadow side, right? What is stirred during this time? What feelings are stirred up? There's dust that's kicked up around this time. Also on March 27th, you have Venus conjunct Neptune in Pisces, and it's an aspect for dreamers, right, and lovers. perfect day to plan a romantic venture if you so choose. Or if you're not in a relationship, you can create. It's a creation day. Create something beautiful for sure. On March 29th, you have Mercury retrograde that enters Pisces, and the Mercury retrograde is going to be pivotal for you in particular. It's hard to separate during this time fact from fiction. Your emotions can cloud your judgment. Don't make important decisions during this time, but definitely go inward to sort of unearth what is being unearthed for you, right? Sometimes the past holds keys to the future, but it's not a decision-making time as much as it is as an introspective time. Also on March 29th, you have Mercury in Pisces conjunct Neptune in Pisces, and this energy can have you jumping to conclusions, and it may make you panic about things that haven't happened or may never happen. So try to stay inward, try to do the work by yourself. You're going to unearth something that's really going to help you to manifest something either in your love life or your work life. So let's move on to your charms. Here in your charms sector, you have W. You have the letters W, Q, U, and L. Now, this could be someone's initials, first, last, middle name. It could be a workplace, a place of employment. It could be an airport. It could be anything, literally. So keep these close to you. And by the end of the month, one of these letters or all of them are going to mean something to you. You have, oh wait, before we get to that, you have the ice cube. And the ice cube means you are free. You may be unconsciously, subconsciously freezing a part of you out, freezing it, keeping it in suspended animation as you move forward to try to be more productive. And I think there is a thaw coming if you handle this energy correctly. You have, you may be planning travel. You may, all right. So the plane coming in upside down. It's either you're planning travel, you want to perhaps go somewhere. You may be traveling, but if you are, you may experience a flight delay. It's nothing major, but there may be some sort of delay, right, with that, or some sort of problem with travel, but not a huge problem. So don't worry about that too much. You have the Seven of Swords coming in reverse. Now, not many of my charms come in actual reverse. So there is a strategy. You may be lying to yourself about something here, Scorpio, at least as you enter the month. And I think by the end of the month, you're going to sort of uncover this, especially with this overarching energy. This is something you're going to discover within yourself. The Seven of Swords is Aquarius and Uranus energy, right? There's hidden things that abound that you are going to uncover. You also have the Harvest Rune. And what did I say? This is very harvesty, very harvest-based card. You're going to experience a harvest this month, but it's not going to be free, if that makes sense. You're going to have to do some internal work. Nobody does internal work better than Scorpio, okay? All right. So I think we should move on to your tarot to really uncover exactly what's going on. All right. Starting on your first leg, you have Dark Man here. It says dealings or relationships with a man with dark complexion or hair. It is coming in reverse. This could be somebody from your past. This could be someone who rubs you the wrong way. This could be someone who is not very good for your forward motion. This person has definitely, this is an impact. Now, the Dark Man could be someone with dark hair, dark eyes, dark complexion, one of those things, all of those things, but it could be a dark human being, someone with a dark soul that has impacted you, especially in the past. And the past could be yesterday, or it could be 10 years ago. So just keep that in mind as we go along. You have here also the Princess of Cups. Oh, and it pays to mention that from here to here, these cards are a little bit different. These tarot cards have different astrological associations, at least 90% of the time. Sometimes the meanings can be slightly different as well. So I just want to let you know that. So you have the Princess of Cups here in reverse, and this is straight up in this deck, straight up water energy, like yourself, right? Between this card and the two goddess, the archetypes up here, you may be avoiding a fact or emotion inside you. Upright, this card describes a person who is learning the range of their own emotions, managing it, understanding their moods, understanding why they feel certain ways, messages in your dreams, heightened intuition, psychic abilities. Something is suppressing this, at least at the start of the month. This may have been going on for a while, but there is something or someone suppressing this for you, and it could be related to this Dark Man, okay? Next up, you have the Tower coming in sideways. Now, in normal decks and other decks, this is your energy. It's Scorpio, Pluto energy. But the major arcana in this deck do not have any astrological correspondence. It's just the way the deck is made. So, in this deck, the Tower, sudden awakening, a choice, especially coming in sideways, it's a choice. The possibility of your world, or at very least, your perception of your world changing drastically. Will you accept the invitation? This is an invitation to look at things differently. And this sideways cards means that you definitely have a say in this matter. Here's another major arcana with temperance. And as I said, the major arcana in this deck have no astrological correspondence. It took me a really long time to get used to that with this deck. Now, upright, this card is the alchemy of life, right? Temperance is balance. It's healing by pouring back and forth. Something else is being created from those two cups. And that creation is in reverse. It is not being brought forth. It is purposeful. What are you choosing not to see, at least at the start of the month? What are you either choosing not to see or just consciously saying, I don't want to deal with that. It's just too much right now. I don't feel like dealing with that. We add this up and we break this column down. We get Jupiter energy, right? It is a possibility of expansion if you so choose. It does involve a dark man. There is a dark man involved in this somehow here, Scorpio. So you have Apple coming in sideways on your second leg, and it says, temptation will test you. It is a sort of test. All right. Will you look at this for what it is? Will you really look at it, tear it apart, put it back together, and come up with a new insight? You're very insightful. Will you use that? The first card up, you have these two sideways cards. And remember, the sideways cards are choices that you have to make, right? So in this deck, the Queen of Swords is straight up Aquarius energy. It is not Sun in or Saturn in. It is straight up Aquarius energy. And her intellect, like right side up, her intellect, perception, it leads to an independence and a confidence. She doesn't tolerate false impressions in herself or others. Sideways, this card is a question. What are you justifying? Are you justifying someone's behavior? Are you justifying someone's actions? Are you not seeing it because it's just easier not to look at? There is a justification on the table. Now, your center card, the card that all this revolves around, and it's really not surprising to me, is the High Priestess. And once again, very tempted to give an astrological correspondence, but in this deck, one second, none exists. So, you have the High Priestess, and she can pass back and forth between veils. It's between the conscious and the sub or unconscious realms. She does not push or prod, she reflects. What are you choosing to see here with the sideways card? Or what are you choosing not to see? This is something you're going to have to figure out. There is something that maybe up until now you've chosen to sort of let it go. You've justified it. What's there, and it's probably something that's not making you particularly happy, but maybe you have other things going on in your life and you're choosing to focus on those. Now that could be because it needs focus, or it could be it's easier to focus on that than this. Because when you focus too much on this and you come up with the reality of it, then you have to take action, right? Then we in general have to take action. This leads us straight into the Five of Cups, which is Pluto's Scorpio energy in this deck. Now, as you can see, this person is focused on the cups. Behind him is a rainbow. Now, normally, people will say, don't focus on those cups, focus on the rainbow. I think you're doing the opposite. What are you choosing to see? Are you choosing to see something? Are you choosing to see it and then walk towards the rainbow? Are you choosing to turn around and see that the rainbow is possible? Understanding finally that that storm could be over and that your future is in the opposite direction. It's a choice. And with those butterflies on there, it is very, very, very scorpionic. Very scorpionic. That birth, death, rebirth, Pluto energy. Now, this is right next to it. You have the Six of Wands in reverse. And, you know, that could mean many things in many readings. But with the tone of this reading, it's Jupiter and Leo energy. It's surrendering pride and ego. Letting go of ego-driven habits and behaviors and beliefs, even if that belief is about something, even if you're stubbornly holding on to a belief about something. One of you is letting go of an idealization of someone else. One of you is letting go of something that they firmly willed themselves to believe about another. And that is in reverse because someone is letting it go. At the very least, it is surrender of your ego that says, okay, maybe I didn't have this right. Maybe I need to re-examine it. When we add this up and we break it down, we get Uranus energy, and that is breakthrough energy. You'll be experiencing some sort of breakthrough mid-month, but it comes with a temptation for you to look at the rainbow and not the cups, instead of the order it should be in, right? Looking at something like it's all roses and rainbows instead of saying, okay, this is that, this pain, this thing, this person isn't what I thought they were, or they're not what I think they are, or perhaps in the past I idealized them, or I choose not to even think about it because it's too painful. Face your cups so you could then turn around and have this rebirth into that rainbow energy, Scorpio. Here at the end of the month, you have scales coming in sideways. Libra energy, right? It says keep your life in balance. That's going to be a choice. It's going to be a choice. You have the Chariot here. And, you know, like all the major arcana in this deck, it does not have an astrological association. But it's no wonder this sits sideways, right? It's no wonder that it's alongside the Queen of Swords sideways. It's no wonder that it's even next to, two spaces away from the Princess of Cups in reverse. Do you move ahead confidently, or are you glancing back? Is it necessary to glance back once you make that decision to move ahead? There is a new open path in front of you, so once you get finished examining this, it's time to move forward. It is time to move forward. What I love is that this does lead into this 10 of Pentacles energy, and in this deck, this is Venus in Virgo. And, you know, the 10 of Pentacles is usually a long-term goal that is really strong, really has roots into your future, something very positive that has staying power. But in this deck, it could be that, or it could be a relationship, because as you can see, there's two people on this card. There's a family on this card. So this is something that, once you do this work, right, your long-term reward hangs in the balance. You will have the Two of Cups coming in, of course, sideways. Right after that, Moon in Cancer, a lot of moon energy in this reading. Coming together with something or someone. So this could be a relationship, two people coming together. This could be a decision you have to make about a relationship, because it is a sideways card, right? So this reading could be relationship based for some of you, and for others of you, it is long-term goals in general, okay? There is somebody from your past, or there could be someone in your life that did some damage or is doing some damage. Could that be your boss? Sure. Could it be someone you're involved with romantically? Could it be a parent? Could be any of those things, right? But this person had an impact, has an impact on your life, and you're going to have to make a decision come month's end here about the job, relationship, or otherwise, right? You're weighing your options. But isn't having a choice great? You have a choice, right? And the best part of this is that when we add this up and we break it down, we have Pluto energy, that Scorpion energy, that energy that you are so comfortable with. Your own energy encompasses this whole leg. And I have faith in your ability to handle this complex energy. Not many people can't, right? This is a chance at rebirth, Scorpio, a chance to do something different. Definitely a chance to have something different, to have something that's in your life for a very long time, something balanced, Choose wisely, okay? Now let's look at your challenges with this different deck, right? So you have well, and it says family wishes coming true, long-term potential again, right? I would say that these two cards are very similar, but the challenge, these are challenges. These are things you're going to have to overcome or things that you may find difficult this month. And you can have wishes coming true, but it's going to require some internal work. I said that way at the beginning. Now here you go. There's the dark man. You have the dark man here, and you have him here too. This is straight up Aries energy. Doesn't have to be an Aries we're talking about, but with the Emperor in reverse, this is someone either now or in the past using their position of power against you that is damaging to you. This could be a family member, like I said, a boss, a coworker, a friend, or a lover. This person damaged you. And many of your cards herald a time of seeing this very clearly. Something that may have been obscured either by you purposely or by this person. It could be even the person. Now, you have the Three of Pentacles. And what I like about this particular deck, it's a little different. You can see the Three of Pentacles is just him, right? Sitting at a desk doing the work. It's challenging, but he's doing it by himself. It's self-work. It's independent in nature. It's Saturn and Capricorn energy. And this leads us right into a very interesting card. It's the Chariot in reverse. And here's your Chariot again. Where is it? There's your Chariot. And what did I say? Are you looking back? And what is he doing in this card? He's looking back, right? Now, it's a challenge. And it's not always... People say don't look back. I think in this situation, you have to look at the history of the situation and figure out what happened instead of maybe someone's version of what happened, right? Cancer energy. And in this Chariot, you're doing exactly what we discussed on that third leg. The challenge is to see the past clearly so you can then turn around in that Chariot and move forward into that new brilliant energy. When we add this up and we break it down, we get that Mercury energy again. So this Mercury retrograde, right? Gemini, Virgo, clarity, movement. But the Mercury retrograde is going to have you looking back, but make it medicinal. Make it a medicinal thing that sort of catapults you after the retrograde is finished. Now, looking at your opportunities, and I really love this for you. I'm really glad I do all this on camera so you can see that these cards fall out by themselves. It does say romance is in the air as an opportunity, and damn, with the Two of Cups, it certainly looks that way. But it doesn't have to be. Anytime a rose comes out in my reading, it is hope, right? It's hope, it's love, it's beauty. You have the opportunity for this month. Now, here you have the Ace of Cups in reverse, right? An opportunity to turn inward and see something, an opportunity to heal through that seeing, right? It's like the Three of Pentacles, right? You have in your challenge column, it's done alone. It's done alone. Here you have the Two of Swords, Moon in Libra. Like I said, you have a lot of moon energy in this reading here, Scorpio. And the Two of Swords blocking out the noise and the distractions and other people's voices and opinions and focusing inward to figure out what the truth is. You are a truth detector. You're going to figure it out. And finally, what I love is that all this culminates into the King of Pentacles. Now, this is definitely Sun in Taurus, but more than that, right? It's long-term security. It's that Ten of Pentacles energy almost, right? Security, roots, home, hard work paying off, a reward, a reward. When we add this up and break it down, the moon again, right? That Cancerian energy, it's intuition, it's creative energy. The moon has come out several times. Reflection will bring serious reward for you. Okay? Don't, definitely take advantage of this energy. Don't let it just go. Because it's not that it is your last chance to straighten things out inside you, but you might as well do the work if the energy is ripe for you here, Scorpio. And this is my Norse deck. Give me one for Scorpio, March 2025. March, you have two. There you go. So you have chosen Muspel, which is the Lord of Misfits. This is someone in your life, And, they don't have to be in your life at the moment. They could be. But this is someone either from your past or from your present that is causing you harm. And I don't think they're causing you harm in a very overt way, which makes it very confusing. I don't think that they're causing you harm in a way, or they caused you harm in a way that a lot of people would look at and say, wow, that person's terrible, that person's toxic. There is some sort of, this person may be regarded as some sort of a misfit. This person may be regarded as something very different from the people around them. Just take care, right? But you have here steadfastness and loyalty here with the Nana card. And this guarantees you loyalty, a good solid relationship, something positive, either a relationship coming out of this that is really healthy, or relationship with yourself that's really healthy. But either way, there is a reward tied to this. So it's a reward in the area of love or money. But this is represented by work you have to do by yourself in regards to this person, in regard to the Lord of Misfits. There is someone here. And if this person isn't in your life currently, like physically in your life currently, they're still in your life because you're holding a place for them in some way. If this person is in your life currently, they may not even realize that they're doing this damage, and you may feel this compassion for them. But I have to tell you, they're not good for you. They're not good for you. I mean, I have someone like that in my life where I described him as a toxic waste dump, right? So if you have a toxic waste dump living next door to you, right, even if it's underneath this beautiful garden, it's going to slowly permeate your home, and it's going to slowly get you sick. So take that for what it's worth. Let's do your numbers, because it's pretty interesting. So when we add up all the numbers in this reading and we break it back down, we get Neptune energy. But what makes it interesting is the number we talked about the most was number 7, and that too is Neptune energy. And this manifests as compassion, and the compassion could be wrongly placed, right? It's also intuitive vision and visions, things that you have to look at. It could be confusing a little bit. So sort of look past all that and really try to get sharp. Now, the planets that we talked about, the one we talked about the most is no mystery. It is the moon, right? That Cancerian energy. And it's also very intuitive. It's very, it's feminine in its way. It doesn't mean that you're feminine, but it just means that side of you, that intuitive side of you. There is a side of you that you may repress. There is a side of you that you don't want to look at because it maybe holds a painful truth. I don't know. But there is that moon energy that was talked about over and over again in this reading. Now, the signs we discussed were Capricorn, Leo, Sagittarius, Aquarius, Gemini, Scorpio, Aries, Virgo, Cancer, Taurus, and Libra. And there was no one sign that stood out. It was pretty even, right? So, I'm sure one of those signs encompasses the person that we're talking about that's affecting you, for sure. I would concentrate on this harvest. It's time to level up. It's time to get some courage here and look at what you don't want to look at. There is a doorway. I don't know if we picked this card up, actually. There is a doorway, right, that you're being asked to. It says, do something, say something. It's time to walk through this doorway into this garden. If you notice that these colors are very similar as well, right? That bright Aries sort of magnetic energy. Keep those dates in mind that I talked about. If you want to go back and write them down, you can, but that was a lot. It was a lot to digest, but I do think this is going to be a pivotal month if you so choose, right? So for me to turn to every Scorpio and say, this is definitely going to happen. I think for most of you it can, but you have to do that work. Some of you won't. The sideways cards indicate that some of you won't, but try to, so you could pass through this doorway and level up and grab your harvest. Okay, Scorpio, I will see you next time. But before we do, wait a minute. Your lucky numbers, real quick: 7, 9, 3, 4, 5, and 10. Okay, Scorpio, namaste.